guys, how do you look at game one? You came close, and you almost just had maybe one or two plays short.
Well, going into the game, we knew it was going to be a tall task. Brady Singer is one of the best pitchers in the country. I think next year he'll be the first pick in the draft, certainly a top 5 pick. I have as much respect for him as any pitcher I've seen as an opponent in the 11 years I've been here. He reminds me so much of one of our former pitchers, Aaron Nola. And it was going to be a tall task for us going up against him. He pitched a great game against us down in Gainesville earlier this year. And of course, we were just piecing it together with our bullpen. I know it's been well chronicled that we lost our starting pitcher, Eric Walker, last week due to a problem with his arm. And had he been healthy, then he either would have pitched this past Saturday and Caleb Gilbert would have pitched today, or Caleb would have pitched that game and Walker would have pitched today. But I thought the guys that we threw out there did a tremendous job. I feel a little bit, regretful that I tried to squeeze a little more out of Russell Reynolds than I did. I should have just been happy with the 3 shutout innings and moved on to the next guy. But, he was getting them out, and I thought, well, maybe he can get us another inning or so. And unfortunately, he just kind of lost it there and ended up walking 3 batters in a row that all ended up scoring. And frankly, that was pretty much the difference in the game. I thought our kids played their hearts out tonight, even though we were up against it, and we just came up a little bit short tonight. Tomorrow, our guys will come out here again, very excited about playing. We'll have one of our real dudes, Jared Poche, the winningest pitcher in LSU baseball history, going for us. And if we can beat him tomorrow, and it'll make Wednesday night exciting with Alex Lang going for us. So we're not going to hang our heads. We're going to, we're disappointed we lost tonight, of course. It was a great ball game. We just, came up a little bit short, a couple little bad breaks. But, we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Do you like your guys being aggressive like that and trying to take the extra base and what have you? I know it didn't work out.
There was one time we weren't aggressive enough. I thought when Greg Dykman got his base hit to left center that Antoine could have taken third base, but he played a little bit conservative there. And then Singer ended up pitching out of the first and second, nobody out jam. And then, Kramer, he saw the slider going in the dirt, and I had told him, look, read that ball in the dirt. So I can't blame him for that. He was doing what he was told, but, it was just the kid from Florida made a tremendous play. He scooped the ball and threw it to second all in one motion. Normally when there's a ball in the dirt, you see a catcher try to block it, and maybe the only lapse of judgment was the ball was just kind of close to the catcher. Maybe Kramer should have read it out a little bit further, but that's a split-second decision that a kid has to make. So I have no fault with Kramer doing that, and I wish Twani would have been a little bit more aggressive on that play, but he made his judgment, and I don't second-guess that either. I think if he had to do it all over again, he thinks he probably would have been able to take third.
Do you draw some confidence, obviously, after knowing what you've done with Oregon State and winning back-to-back games? It's got to have to see us.
Yeah, and the Florida State game as well. So we've already had 3 elimination games where we've had our back against the wall and we've played well and got the job done. And so now we're going to deal with it again. We're going to have to do it the hard way. But we're confident. We still have Jared Poche and Alex Lang available. Zach Hess has an extra day's rest. He should be fine and ready to go. I think probably Caleb Gilbert even could give us something out of the bullpen. He came to me today before the game and said, I feel great. If you need me, I'm ready to give you something. I wasn't going to do it today, but maybe with another day's rest, or if it's not until Wednesday, he'd be able to give us something. So, we're down, but we're not out. And our kids are going to fight right to the very end. And I feel still very confident in our ability to come from behind in this thing. So we can't think about winning 2 games. We just got to go out there and try to win a game tomorrow night. And if we're fortunate enough to win the game, okay, now we'll try to win one more. And it'll be a fun night if we can get to Wednesday night with Alex Lang pitching.
How much did the bullpen help? Only Nicholas giving you so much, and then Hunter Newman giving you 2 to keep that bullpen fresh.
Yeah, we didn't have to use Hess tonight. Had we tied up the ball game there, then he would have come into the game, and he was fine to do that. But, I thought all those guys did a really good job. I thought Russell did a great job for 3 innings, and I just tried to be a little bit greedy there to try to get one more out of him. I'm sure if I'd have hooked him after 3 innings, everybody would have criticized me for doing that. But, Obviously he had a little trouble finding his strike zone there in the fourth inning and walked 3 consecutive batters. He brought Nick Bush into a really tough situation, bases loaded, 1 out, and he got a pop-up. It was a great play by Kramer, but unfortunately, he's out of position to be able to make a throw to the plate. I wish we would have covered second base so we didn't let the other runner advance, because as it turned out, the ground rule double, if the runner was at first, he would have had to stop at third. Of course, we didn't know that was going to happen, but we just got a little bit lax there, and nobody covered second base, which was a mistake on our part. But overall, I thought our pitchers did a good job, and our hitters did a great job, competing against one of the best pitchers in the country. So we just came up a little bit short today. Had a couple bad breaks go against us, and hopefully tomorrow night the ball bounced right for us.
On that sac fly, was that Kramer's ball, or should Antoine have taken
I
it?
don't think Antoine could have got to it. I didn't watch the replay of it, but I didn't think when the ball was hitting, Antoine would be able to get there. Had he been able to get to it, it probably would have been his play, having a little bit of momentum. But for him to make that catch, his momentum would have been carrying him into the stands. I don't think he probably would have been able to make the throw either. It was a great pitch by Bush. He got a pop-up, but, it just carried over so far that, where we made the catch, we weren't able to throw. Got 3 runs good, so we weren't going to be able to get him at the plate. But the right thing was to make the catch. I mean, if anybody thinks he should have let the ball drop, you can't do that. It was too early in the game. The bases were loaded. I mean, he could have ended up walking the batter, and then it could have been a big inning. So he did the right thing.
Paul, how much do you tell your team, we took their best shot, let's get off the mat?
We
got some punches in us.
Listen, we gave them some stuff tonight with base on balls, but they only had 6 hits against us. And we weren't throwing our top 2 starting pitchers out there or our top reliever. So, we have confidence that, we can play with these guys, and we just got to do a little bit better, and it's hard for me to believe that the guy pitching tomorrow is as good as Singer. I mean, he's got a good arm. I assume they're pitching Dyson. I don't know that for a fact. And he's got a good arm. He's good. But Singer's, man, he's, like I said, after facing him twice this year, I now know what it felt like for all those teams against us going up against Aaron Nola, because he's a spitting image of Nola.
For the first time, I needed a strikeout. So I knew a ground ball would advance him, and then I had to, ultimately I needed a strikeout. And then I think getting 3 strikeouts was just icing on the cake. It was just that much better.
What was your goal today? You talked about keeping the ball down against this lineup and trusting your defense. Did you expect to break a record and a career high for strikeouts coming in?
My goal for today was win. We got to win the first game. I think it was our best opportunity to win. We definitely needed to win the first one. But yeah, I had to keep the ball down, and I think I did. For the most part, they definitely hit mistakes. LSU's got a good lineup. I feel like I pitched well.
I know you said every time you go out there, you're kind of competing with what Alex did before you. Did you give him any stuff for breaking that record?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. He was helping me throughout the the whole game. He was giving me advice, but definitely try to compete with him. But he's hard to compete with. He's really good, and he won this time, definitely.
When Aaron was over here, just comparing you to Aaron Nola, he was saying he thinks you're a first pick. You're one of the best pitchers he's ever seen. What does it mean to you when you hear that kind of compliment?
It feels great, especially coming from a guy like Paul. Having so much success in this league. But I take game by day. I don't try to think about the draft. Think about next year. Just trying to win for the team.
And we're 1 win away from being the first team in Florida history to win a national championship. Yeah. So we got to take every at bat, and then every inning as every inning. You can't rush the process. So they're a great team, and they're hard. We every time we play them, it's like that. So we'll be ready for tomorrow.
Do you feel like just kind of the pain from last year and the way last year ended is kind of keeping you guys level-headed in some ways, knowing how quickly things can end and all that? Do you feel that at all?
Yeah, we still have that in the back of our minds.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like producing to our fire and our ability to play. So, we're just coming out here and having fun and trying our best. That's our motto right now, is trying our best.
Yeah.
And we joke around and the dugout, we're saying, hey, try your best, man. Just try your best. That's all you can do. And it's working, so we're going to stick with that.
That would be like the team hashtag.
Yeah,
hashtag
that's what actually it's happening right now, all over Instagram and stuff. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Who started that? Did you start that? Or
I don't know who started it, honestly. I think it was Mike Rivera.
Okay.
I think he was just saying, man, just try your best, bro. That's all you got to do. And it's working, so we're doing well.
Pitchers that we have,
we've been fortunate to have a lot of good ones over the years, and Alex and Brady have been as good as any two we've had, and they're very, very competitive. You could tell, they had, I think LSU had the one scoring opportunity with first and second, nobody out, and being struck out the side, and not many guys can recover from a situation like that. And we just had some timely hits. I think we got out hit tonight again, 9-6, and we seem to get out hit a lot, but we just seem to put the ball in play with runners at third with less than 2 outs, and we execute. And when we need to get a bunt down, for the most part, we get bunts down, and we get some timely hits, and we play good defense. It's but tomorrow's a different day. Obviously we're gonna run a freshman out there in Tyler, and against the winningest pitcher in LSU's history, which is saying a lot. So we'll see what happens. But we'll certainly have to play better tomorrow if we're gonna want to beat Coach Shea.
With how aggressive LSU was on the base paths, how important was Mike tonight, and also Brady holding them on?
They were both important. But that's LSU. That's what they do. They're always aggressive. Balls in the dirt and hit and run. They try to hit and run with Duplantis, I think, on an 0 count, and they try to hit and run with a 1-0 count with Robertson one time. And you just got to stay on your toes. You got to play solid defense, because if you give them a little bit on the base paths, they're going to take advantage of you.
What are the expectations for Tyler tomorrow? Are you giving him a counter inning, or are you just telling him to go out there?
Just go. I mean, we extended him. He threw 5 innings against Wake Forest, Super Regional, and looked like he could have gone another 2 or 3. So we'll see. I mean, it's a different stage for him. But I know he's excited, and Wake Forest had a really good hitting club. So, and you guys will see he's very talented. I mean, he's really talented. So he'll have to be on his A game, of course, but it's going to be a fastball in the mid-90s, sometimes with the 97, 98, and with a slider that's 87, 88, and a feel for a changeup. Now, how he'll handle this environment, I don't know, but he's the next big one to come through our program. That that's what they look like.
Jonathan obviously last year made that final out at second base, and today he comes up with a big hit. Has that big double. How happy for him are you, or just what was that moment like, just to see him be able to come through and maybe get a little bit of redemption?
You know what? When that play happened last year, I thought he made the right decision.
Yeah.
It was 2 outs, and we always tell our guys to gamble more with 2 outs, and it's a bang play, and the outfielder made a perfect throw, and I know some people question, but I honestly think that was the right play last year. If you stay at first, and you have 2 hits to score a run, you go to second, next guy gets base hit, you tie the ball game up. So I didn't fault him at all for that base running, but it was awfully good to see him get going. More importantly, because we need him to get going offensively, because he does hit in the middle of our order, and we just need to get him going.